Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Acquire podcast, where we talk about sales and list building, lead generation, marketing, scaling, and today, specifically, about creating incredible experiences for your clients. And nobody would be better for this than somebody who I've spent the last, oh God, it hurts to say, 10 months working with side by side in one of the businesses that we work in together. None other than Heather. Heather, I'm so glad you're here. Heather Waniger. Oh my God, did I say it poorly?
Wanniger, you did
Oh,
it.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Heather, yay! How you doing?
After 10 months, let's confirm how we said, hey, I answered almost anything. So it is great. Yes, Heather
Oh God.
Wanniger.
I hate when people get my name wrong and I'm like,
Yeah.
so in my head, I'm always trying to say it like Waniger, Waniger, over
Yeah.
and over until I get it right. And then I can't even tell you how many times I've done it wrong with other people's names. So thank you for having the grace to
A-
accept that.
Absolutely. My ex would always say it like you're mad. Wanniger, Wanniger. So
There you go.
that's how you say it. Get
All
a little
right.
angry with it.
Cool. Cool. I like it. So you're
Mm.
like you and I are similar in some ways, but you're an everything person, right? So you started off into photography. You own multiple businesses. You're the chief experience officer in the company that you and I are a part of, which is
Yeah.
Abundance Worldwide, which is super awesome. You're incredibly creative. You have this amazing, uplifting, happy like mindset that you bring to all of this stuff that we've had to interact with, and you just kind of like make things purr along in a happy state. And I'm not like that, but I love that about you. So I just you have this incredible energy that just kind of shines through on everything, and I'm just really excited that we've been able to work together for this long. But now we can finally get you on the podcast, which was a long time waiting for you to get on here. Thank goodness we could.
I know. I know. And it's crazy when you said 10 months. I'm like, how has it already been that long that you and I started working together here in Abundance Worldwide? It's
Poof.
phenomenal how much change, transformation, growth, and the beauty of working together to be able to allow each of us to shine in our zone of geniuses.
Mhm.
You mentioned the creativity. I'm like, I don't have the heavy lifting on the back end that is not fun to me, and
Mhm.
others find joyous, right? So it allows all of us to be able to do what we do well and expand it even greater.
Mhm. It's lucky I find joy in marketing. Let's just say that.
I'm
Listen,
very thankful you find joy in that as well.
I am very thankful that you find joy and surprise and delight, which we'll get into today. So the whole point of today's conversation is about something that I have learned so much from you and I need to continue to learn from you. And this is all about creating experience or experiential sort of parts of the business, right? So somebody like me who deals with cogs and wheels and, marketing side of things can really get bogged down in the funnel and how it works and the conversion and all those things. But what can often get left behind, and this is the purpose of having you here, is the experience that the person entering a funnel, entering a product or service, entering into being a client or a customer can have, and where we can find all those opportunities to improve that experience, create surprise and delight,
Mhm.
and make it so that that person gets the most out of it. And I think it's a conversation that is often missing and often lacking. So, can you share kind of like your vision of what an experience, like what the experience should be? And as the chief experience officer, what does that mean for you?
Yeah. So as a chief experience officer, I get to be able to be podcast host, be the summit host. So being able to have anything that's kind of front facing, that the question that is my mission is, how can I love on people better? How can I serve them better? And when you're thinking about how can I love on people, right? You get the funnels down, you figure out, how to have them enter into your sphere and your network and your circle. But there are so many pieces that can be added that can create that little bit more of personal connection and attention. And so let's say it's a course, right? They go through your SLO, or they say they want to purchase your course. Awesome. You could just send an email and that could be it. But having things that have that personal connection, having video, I think is a huge piece and can be very simple. It doesn't mean that you have to customize and send a simple video to each person, right? Depending on what offer, I will tell you, customized and personal videos are huge. But
Yeah.
let's just talk for like a larger offer, right? SOL, you're not going to do that. But having just a video, hey, welcome to our circle. Welcome to the course. Welcome to the podcast, whatever it is that you're doing. So excited that you are here and just share a little bit more
Hmm.
about you because sometimes if they are cold leads that have found you, that connection already in video can help them feel a little bit more connected to you and excited to be a part of their journey and help them get started right out of the gates.
Completely. And I think this is a conversation that doesn't happen. And this was a learning process for us when we started working together. You weren't part of the initial like nuts and bolts conversations that we were having for building out products and services. I know in your own business you probably already do this, but where we were working together, we weren't doing this in the beginning, and then you became essential. It was like, okay, we talked about the nuts and bolts. Now we got to talk about where the experience comes in, because we forget, or you can easily, and a lot of people listening, you can easily forget to build that in. And then you build the product, and then people are not really getting the experience you were hoping out of it. And you're like, oh crap, what the frick did I do wrong? Like, why are people not consuming the course the way I hoped? Why are people not showing up to the coaching calls the way I hoped? Why are people not taking my upsell the way I hoped? All of those different things. And having the experience be an essential part of the conversation when you're looking to prove an offer, build an offer, and sell an offer, I think is an essential, it's just really an essential part of that build and that discussion. And I think once people add in the conversation about experience, you kind of come a little bit more full circle, and you have the ability to go, oh, okay, this is how people are actually going to walk through and almost not ingest. I'm not sure what the right word is. It's not, I'm not sure, but it's like almost like breathe in what you're doing, like encompass what they're doing. I'm not sure, but I think you get my meaning. Like, how are they actually going to take this full circle into into the program, product, or service they're participating in? Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think some things that you can do, when you are working with courses, for
Yeah.
instance, right? There are things that you can do that can make it fun, that can just have a little playfulness to it. Because I think so often as adults at some point in our life, we can stop having fun. And there is no reason for that. None. I will tell you, you guys deserve and have permission to be your 12-year-old self for the rest of your life. And so I love to bring that in to anything that I'm doing in business. And there's a craving and a desire for people to find that fun and playfulness in there. So in courses, you could have contests, you could have badges, depending on what software you're using and where you're holding them, right? You've got that opportunity to do that. We've talked about that, Jenny, with, having like the top 10, engaging, and then having opportunity to win prizes. The prizes don't have to be much. It can be something very simple. It can literally be a custom video that says congratulations. Maybe it's something that you offer as a low ticket offer that you want to gift something. Maybe you have a book that you want to drop in the mail. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just creating some more excitement around it and giving them more reasons to come back and consume and thinking about that journey like you're talking about. They're wanting to go from, course video 1 to 37. At what kind of time frame are we looking at? We wanting them to consume them all at once, week by week? If so, how do we create moments to celebrate in between? Maybe it's a part of the coaching calls. What do the coaching calls look like? And you mentioned that, like what are some opportunities in those calls to not just feel like you're being coached at, but you're creating that community.
Mm.
Web3. Now, I'm not going to even pretend like I have a great understanding on all of that is coming with Web3, but with that, it's going to shift the way the internet is working. We have the opportunity when Web3, which is emerging now, to be able to then own the content, the being able to have our own space as opposed to being on Facebook and Instagram. So again, do your own research on Web3. But here's what I know from what I have been learning is that community is a huge piece of it. You want to be able to have opportunities to bring people into your community things that I'm reading is like create NFT tokens to be able to have them vote for things. This stuff, I'm not I'm not the queen on. I'm reading this stuff and absorbing it, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not understanding all these pieces, but everything I'm reading is it is around community. And the advantage that you can have now is to already start creating those communities, start creating a broadcast channel on Instagram to be able to have like the like a VIP opportunity for people to jump in for your next offer. Or if you have a beta program and you're offering a discounted price, for mine with the Adventure Club, hey, first chance to grab the 10 spots available on the next trip going to the African safari, right? Having those opportunities that's creating that is going to be a huge thing and is going to help you transfer into this new internet world of Web3 when all of that is, we're on the other side of it.
Okay, talk to me about Adventure Club because this just sounds like my 12-year-old self wanting to do all the things. But explain to me more about Adventure
Uh,
Club.
Oh gosh, I just love it. So I have Sweet Lemonade Adventure Club, and I started it to invite female entrepreneurs to unplug, give them permission to unplug, and we travel around the world and we unplug guilt free. That is the gist of it. I want women to. I find a lot of the women that go on our trips are have children. They have spouses that maybe don't like to travel. They are hardworking. We have every intention of being driven success, want to do all these things. And sometimes we forget, and I'll just talk for myself. Maybe nobody else has this issue, but sometimes I feel guilty about doing something for me. Well, but if
Oh my
I
God.
do that, wait, are you saying you might feel?
Maybe a little bit. No, like all the
Yeah.
time. All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so these trips, what is so cool is to be able to, we create space for people to be able to unplug, to have their permission to slow down. Because in this busy age of how we are running and gunning and all the information is always thrown at us, I have women that they literally don't know what to do when there's a day of nothing planned. Yeah.
Me. I'm like raising my hand for those of you who
Yeah,
cannot see me.
I
I'm like raising my hand,
for
like
those in the
waving.
podcast,
Yeah.
ferociously, she's got the hand up. Yeah, and I tell them, I said, this is intentional that this day is built in because you get to slow down. Because here's what I have found in all the businesses that I run is that when I slow down and step away, and it could be literally stepping away and just having a cup of hot tea in a quiet space. For me, a lot of times it is sitting in my hot tub in the morning and it is just so relaxing. And it's almost like everything kind of melts and shuts off. And in an instant, I know exactly what the next step I need to do in my business. I know without a doubt what I need to say no to that I've been holding on to be able
Mm.
to reach that next level. And so there is so much power in that pause. And that is what these trips are for. Yes, we are doing amazing things. We're going whitewater rafting in Costa Rica. We're going to a family farm and having a cooking class. We're leaving for another trip to Morocco to go have dinner with the nomads that live out in the desert. We get to do all these cool things.
If you do horseback
And
riding in the south of France, I'm there.
okay, well, you know what? All I need is one idea and we'll just get rolling.
There we go.
Yeah.
How
So
did you get
it's
into
really cool.
creating experiences like this? Like what drove you to create experiences and create this and then also be able to transpose that into the other businesses that you run?
Yeah. So this I actually have only been doing for about 18 months. And I have hosted 7 or 8 international trips and I have 4 more already planned. So it just kind of took on a life of its own. I planned one trip. The intention was that it was going to be for photographers because that is something else that I've been doing for 14 years. And no photographers wanted to go. I do think a lot of it is around the internal stuff, right? That could be a
Yeah.
whole nother episode, right?
Yeah.
The internal feelings of not being worth it or the guilt around it and shame and stuff. So nobody did, but I had friends like, "Do you have to be a photographer?" I'm like, "No, do you want to go?" And I had a group of 17 on the very first trip go to
Holy
Morocco.
moly, 17.
And it was the most amazing trip I could have ever imagined.
Holy
It
crap.
was picture perfect, and my oldest son went with me, which made it even more special for
Oh,
me. because this one was a co-ed. So a lot of the trips that I do are for females only, but a few that we've done have been co-ed. And so he was able to go literally sitting out in the middle of the Sahara Desert, riding a camel as the sun sets. Tears are just flowing down my face in such gratitude that I'm in such a space to be able to experience something so just raw in nature with humans I had not known. Some of them I did not know before the trip. And to do it together and just have that community, right? So that's how Adventure Club started. We continue to do it. I When people are like, "Well, who's on this trip?" I'm like, "Well, who wants to go on the trip?" And I kind of just followed a little bit of who wants to go. Let's go. And we do another trip. So I realized that what comes easy to me is not something that is natural to everybody else, right? We all have our own gifts in
Yeah.
where we shine.
Yeah.
And I think in this, it seemed too easy. I'll tell you, I even had resistance in leaning into this because it felt like, why should I give up my really successful photography business
Yeah.
that's already had all the systems, that already had all the procedures, everything in place, to then turn and build something from scratch again? I will tell you, it was like a 2 year internal. I talk about how in the hot tub, all of a sudden it's like I know exactly what I need to get rid of. It was about a 2 year of my heart and mind and body just not wanting to say I'm willing to let go. I wanted
Oh
to hang
God.
on. I
So
and part of it, photography, I created that business when life gave me lemons. And so that business, it saved me,
yeah.
honestly.
Oh my God. Don't you're gonna make
I
me cry.
I'm like, hold it together, hold it together. I
Hold it
can get
together. Hold it together. Deep breath.
it.
Hey, look, I know
And
what you're talking about. Like
yeah,
I mean, but that's so powerful though. Like
yeah,
a business that comes from something that is so, so tough. Shit. Shoot.
yeah,
Don't cry.
yeah.
We can't get a bad rating on Apple Podcasts. There's no swearing. No
No,
swearing.
no, 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 we don't need that.
No, no.
No, it was, I think it's a beautiful reminder now that I'm like, okay, yes. And I'm still doing photography. I
Yeah.
get to shift a little bit differently. Now I'm getting to take pictures of women in the middle of the desert with these red flowing parachute dresses so they feel beautiful, worthy, and loved. My mission is still the same. I've now been able to embrace that it can look different. I say my photography business was a child back then, and now it's just growing up. Now it's a teenager, and I get to do new things with that business.
Yeah. And I mean, what you said was insanely powerful. I'm sure people can relate to having a business that is a means to an end, is the thing that pulls you out of whatever it is and then allows you to step into something else.
Mhm.
Oddly that you're saying this, but at the end of 2024, the same thing happened. I've been running this business since 2013, right? So long time, it feels like.
Mhm.
And at the end of 2024, I needed something different. I just didn't know what different was. And I was resisting. Like, I'm known for doing summits. I'm the queen of summits. I'm this and that. I've done, 460 summits. And I love summits, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't, that was like that's like how the business started, but it's not where I wanted the business to go. And so I took my first foray in the fall of 2024 into working as a fractional CMO. Funny enough, it was our mutual friend Sean Q that got me started.
I was just gonna say, like, I think I know where that next door part of the story is going.
Yeah, he's the one who was actually like, you should be a CMO. And he's the one who actually helped me build my first package. He was the one that actually gave me like a bit of, the confidence to go and try and find my first fractional CMO gig. He was amazing at it. I had that gig. It was awesome. And then since then, I've worked as fractional in different other people's businesses, only to land as the CMO for one of Sean's businesses, like full circle moment. But that could not have happened without getting through that resistance. And for me, for you, it's hot tub. For me, it's spending an hour in the pool swimming lengths.
Mhm.
And I can shut off the world and my brain can just kind of process. And then I can pop out of that pool and be like, okay, next step, here we go. It's amazing. And I mean, I
Yeah.
used to get that from rage cleaning. No longer do I rage clean as much. But rage cleaning used to be the way I would do that. But
Well, both of those would burn some good calories, so I'd say
okay.
either's a good choice.
Who like hands up in the podcast sphere, like just put your hands up in the world, like do you rage clean? And I'm gonna swear there's women's hands popping up all over the world. Men too, probably. Let's circle back and kind of like bring this back to experiences. What would you tell
Hmm.
somebody if they're thinking, okay, Heather, I really want to add experiences. I can't go to, Morocco or anything, and that's not necessarily the right thing that's needed. What can people easily add to programs, products, or services or their business in order to build community, to create surprise and delight, and just add that bit of sparkle that is needed to, create those wonderful sort of moments for people?
Yeah, it's a great question. And there's so many things that you can do,
Hmm.
and they can be free. Here's the cool thing, they don't even have to be expensive, they don't even have to take a lot of time. I mean, things in this world, think about how fast paced everything is now. Think about how digital everything is now. And think about how to do it the opposite of what everybody else is doing, right? When you are going through and people are making a purchase online, are you asking for their mailing address? Do you have that? Is it something that goes in there? Great. How about just sending a handwritten thank you card? Depending on the number of clients that you have, or maybe it's, your top tier clients or things, you could do something like that. You can do quick thank you videos. There are apps that can make it really easy to be able to make a quick video. Jenny, thank you so much. Welcome to our community. We're so excited to have you. Shoot me a message if you have any questions. And it goes to email. Those types of things really matter in a space where everything is feeling so impersonal. AI, all of this stuff is amazing, and the products and the content can feel, oh, well, anybody could do it, right? Because AI is writing some of the things. That's not true. It helps, but here's the thing, they want to see who's on the other side of that. They want to have interactions with you. So things like that are very simple. If you've got high ticket offers that you want to do, welcome boxes are so cool.
Yes.
So I mean, and that again, if you've got a $10,000 offer, great. Are you willing to invest 50 or 100 bucks on something that they would not be expecting? We have custom boxes for the Sweet Lemonade Adventure Club, and then we have custom cookies that have logos and lemon themed things with it, and a passport that is custom for them that we have stamps for every trip that they go on, right? When in the coaching program with Abundance Worldwide, we have opportunities to be able to surprise and delight for our podcast guests. We send a virtual gift card to Starbucks. Hey, thank you so much for being on and spending time with us and sharing with our community. You're a rock star, right? Something like that is so cool because I can't tell you how many podcasts I've been on, and it is so much fun and I love it. I have never received anything like that, right? So we're able to create something really unique for those for because honestly, we value them. That's at the end of the day the experience is I want to make sure people feel valued, recognized, seen and heard, just like the Maya Angelou quote, right? As that people will remember how you make them feel. And so I think with that, questions would be what based on your audience size or based on the people that you want to serve and do these things for, what is repeatable? Right? Because I've also made mistakes of doing some of these things that were very specific, very customized. That then after I got through, a dozen people, I'm like, oh, okay, this is not going to be sustainable. So what is sustainable to be repeatable for the number of clients that you have? And then what is your budget? Right. And if you're like, I don't have any money to spend, no problem. There are things as simple as thank you notes, touching points in Messenger, not using the automated things, but sending something very personal about them. Postcards, very inexpensive to do, but then you can do really cool things with gift boxes and gifts at retreats. And if you're hosting those, retreats are a great way to be able to offer your high ticket offers like masterminds, right? You can have a welcome gift that no one would be expecting that really says, not just thank you for joining, but we care. We're
Yeah.
glad you're here. Here's something extra.
I love the idea of creating a postcard.
Yeah. Custom postcards. So simple. And,
Oh,
and then it just creates more brand, right? For mine, they say your soul runs on joy. And
oh
then
I
it
love
just has my
it.
logo on the back. So I like these postcards where my logo's on it, but it has something that feels like it can be a motivational thing, a reminder of something that they could just put on their fridge or put in their office. What is something, what's your mission, your vision, a purpose, a saying that you have in your company that you want your clients to be reminded of? Put it on there in a fun way. It's something you'll be surprised how many people save it because it's a great reminder for them.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, you and I are going to talk offline about postcards and things because I think I need to do that, especially for a choir. I think that would be really really fun. So we'll
Yeah.
definitely talk about doing that. This is a really important conversation to have and something that I know that we just need to revisit on a regular basis, especially with the trends that are changing in the online space. And also, even, when you're getting together with people and you're doing these really cool trips, I can say that your expertise when it comes to creating incredible community is something that I've just had the pleasure of learning from you in the past,
Mm.
like, almost a year. And it's been just super fun. And I'm just so glad that we've had that opportunity to connect, especially since one of my favorite memories of you when I was first getting to know you is we were on a Zoom call and it looked like you were carrying a baby. And I was like, we have a baby in the picture. I'm not sure. I don't want to I say anything out of turn because I didn't know you yet. And I'm like, I thought she had kids, but I thought they were older. Right. And I'm like, oh, and who's this new bundle of joy? And you're like, oh, this is my dog. Like, okay. I
Yep.
have navigated that without saying the wrong thing.
We
Thank God.
Yep. We roll. I keep it real. And
Yep.
on that Zoom call, I think I was in the kitchen preparing something, and my dog, who literally I am his emotional support human, he was literally laying on me with his head over my shoulder like a true baby. So
Yep.
totally get why you would think that, and it's so norm in my world that I
And it was fuzzy.
didn't even consider.
I didn't know it was a dog. It was a fuzzy, because when somebody's sharing their screen and like all the rest of the images are small, all I could see was something, you were holding something on your shoulder. I'm like, is that a
Yeah.
baby? I don't know what's going on. That's how you were making tilapia and broccoli, by the way. I
Look
remember
at
that
that.
distinctly.
Oh,
Anyways,
that's
this is
funny.
super fun. Where can people find and get to know you? Where can people find your super amazing adventure club also? And give me all the details.
Yeah, yep. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, the Sweet Lemonade Adventure Club. I've got a Facebook group that is there for the female entrepreneurs for the club as well. And I can give you that to be able to put in the show notes. SweetLemonadeAdventureClub.com for all of the travel fun. If you've got a place that you want to go, there's a spot to be able to tell me where to go. And when there's enough interest in that, we'll just start planning it. I mean, we've already now have a new one, the south of France horseback riding. So if anyone else is interested in that, you need to make sure that you put that in. We'll make that
Yeah,
happen. Yeah.
absolutely. We'll put
Yeah.
all that in the show notes. By the way, everybody,
Yeah.
uh, Heather has a Christmas market 2025 European Christmas market, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Trip.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
Germany and yeah.
do you know this whole past year, like the whole past like Christmas season, all I watched was YouTube videos of Christmas markets? I am not even kidding you.
No
I would literally with a
way.
cup of tea and watch like walkthrough videos. There was a guy on YouTube, I don't know his name, and he has a camera and he walks through the markets and he just walks through them. And I don't even know the name
So
of it.
you're
Yeah.
yeah. So the point of view, it's like you're walking through it and you
Yes.
just get to experience
And
it
you
all.
just get to experience it. Somebody walking through, and then he walks along, like in Germany and everything, he's walking along canals and stuff, and then he walks into the market, and then he walks away, and then he walks back into the market. And honestly, hours. These things are like 2 hours long, and I'd sit there with a cup of tea and just take it all in. I am so
Oh my,
interested in
hey,
this.
you come on board. Come on.
Oh my
We would
gosh.
love to have you.
Absolutely amazing. Okay. Heather, thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Go and check out everything that Heather does. She's phenomenal and she is honestly just joy in a person. Sweet lemonade
Mm.
right there. So thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I always love chatting with you. It was great being on here.
Yeah, fantastic. And if you're listening to the podcast and you've enjoyed this thus far, make sure you are following the podcast. Hit any button that you see on any of the providers that you watch, listen, or whatever it is that you're listening to this podcast on, and make sure you follow along. We've got such great guests coming up. I have been planning episodes like crazy, and we have some really great people. I don't want you to miss out. And some great solo episodes. I've been getting a little bit more punchy as they go along. So if you're enjoying
Mm-mm.
those, come along for the ride. Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and we'll talk to you all soon. Take care.